and the role that I played in everything that occurred last week.
I accept your responsibility.
The chair recognizes Alderwoman Mitz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I rise on a point of personal privilege.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Please proceed.
Thank you. Today, Mr. Mayor and City Council, I'm going to take a high role of a committed public service in responding to the news of the 35th Ward Alderman resignation from the City Council leadership post. Thank goodness that this unfortunate, negative, highly uncomfortable, and unwanted incident, which was perpetuated against me by my fellow colleague, Alderman Rosa, during the special City Council meeting at City Hall on Thursday, November the 2nd, has come to a resolution. However, here are some facts that I want to share with you at this time. At 9:49 a.m., I was sent a text from my floor leader advising me to stay away from the council meeting, which went to my cell phone. However, I didn't see the message as I was driving in my car on the way to City Hall. My public service goals has always been to continue to be a servant and representative of my 37 ward constituents, and I resolute committed to attending the special City Council meeting. Number one, my text message read, "Good morning, Emma. I want to let you know that today's special meeting will not have a quorum. So if you have things to do in your ward, focus on that instead of wasting time coming downtown." I'm like, wow, but I'm already here. So when we had the first roll call quorum as I came in, our floor leader Rosa came over to me and he says, "Do you know that the migrants get offended when they hear you all talking about them like that?" Hold on. I replied to floor leader Rosa, "My community get offended when our resources are being driven and taken away from us because of this issue." That was our first roll call quorum. As the council got in a disarray and legislation was being trying to maneuver, there was a second roll call. The second roll call, Chairman Rosa told me afterward, he said, "You know, you shouldn't be in here." I said, "Well, why are you bothering me?" He says, "Because the rest of your colleagues are idiots." I said, "Well," he said, "You're a chairman. And I'm feeling as though, yes, I'm a chairman, but I'm also representing my community, which is why I'm here. And if you're going to take, I told you where you could put that chairmanship. Because I'm here to represent my community. No one ever stands in the way of that in the 24 years I've serviced my constituent. I also referred to you, there were Chairman Irvin sitting there. He's a chairman. But nothing was said about that. In between the chaos and the maneuver of the meeting, there was a meeting held for capital improvement economics in 201A, which I was a member of, so we went to go to the meeting. As they recessed the special city council meeting, because there was confusion of getting a quorum back and forth. And as we were conducting econ meeting, someone came in and said they need a roll call again. So everybody leaves out of that particular meeting to come back into city council. How happened I had to be the last one to come in that door? And I don't know what video and media are showing, but I came into contact with just Alderman Rosa and myself there. And he says, you can't go into this meeting. Now, I don't know what manhandling and how people said it, but it was more of, you can't go into this meeting, where I was literally blocked at that door with, not manhandling, I don't call it, but more or less, you can't go into the meeting, facing me. Alderman Coleman came out, and she happened to see this incident. And for whatever reason, I saw Alderman Lopez come out because I couldn't go in, as you had stated. That he moved you out of the way so that I could come into the council chamber. Now, I'm already exhausted from all the things you're telling me regarding my colleagues. I take that stuff seriously. I don't call people idiots, never would. Nor would I tell someone about a position of chairman. I've been in this council 24 years. I am 68 years old. I have seen a lot in my lifetime of a struggle. And Alderman Rosa, learn a little wisdom. Always take a high road. You don't have to. Because you have said, we have a judicial obligation to come to meeting. Me and you have sit here and talked about a special council meeting. I'm doing my judicial duties. And with you doing your judicial duties, I told you I was doing mine and represent my community. I have to hear it from them every day, every single day. And if I had not came here, then they want to know, where am I? I would be getting protest against. Do you realize that? So to have me to be put up under that strain, I felt like I was back in the South. I felt like everything in me was shaking, and I literally tried to share it, but seemed like no one would hear it but my colleagues. And I thank them because I had a little bit of hope that I could stand. At that point, I really didn't know if I could do my job again. I didn't. It's definitely, if this is what I have to put up with, if this is what women have to put up with, somebody better stand up for not only me, but any young women who get abused. That's the problem with black women today. And I'm a strong black woman, strong black woman that believe in fairness, to have faith, to work out your differences, agree and disagree, but have respect. And I could read this whole statement, but I'll pass it to the media and just let them see. I wanted to talk about the highlights and how I felt, because I took 2 or 3 days. Could have been emotional and mental, but I prayed to the Lord to give me the strength that I could be able to come here and look at you and tell you exactly what happened. It was unbecoming of anyone who's elected to represent people. Because if it happens to me, then who else can it happen to? Or who else have already? And they didn't have a voice. So I'm speaking that voice for everyone. That you shouldn't be talked to, dismissed, or deminimized. No form way. Never let your position take over you. You make the position don't make you. Never. We have titles. No one respects us until we work our titles. And that's what this is all about, putting in the work, developing relationships with our colleagues so that we can understand. Not a text. We have to develop these relationships. We are an example for this entire, not only the city, but for the country. And we should not be taking time, taxpayer dollars, dealing with this right now. We should be about the business of this city. But however, we're here. There's some dark days ahead, as Dr. Martin Luther King said. And we're going down some dark days. And it's not something that I wanted. It's something that I have a vision, and I saw it coming. I saw this coming. But until we get some law and order in here now and start respecting each other, then we'll be having even more darker days ahead. So, Mr. President, having said that, I appreciate you allowing me to be able to speak this morning, because there was a time I couldn't speak. So I really felt what women go through, in particular these women of color that don't have a voice. I am that voice for them today. Every woman should be respected. No one should overexert their power or their authority on them because they can. It's unacceptable. And I pray that this council, that we can come together. And thank you. You did apologize this morning to me. First time we talked. And I will tell you this. Action always speaks louder than words. Apology is good, but you gotta have some action behind it. And I'm looking for the action moving forward. That no retaliation, no one has a right to retaliate because one speaks their mind, no one. And I'm certainly here as one. And I'm willing to work along with you because we have to represent all the people in Chicago. I don't want a divisive city. It's enough going on now. But we are leaders, and we have an obligation. Our community have elected us to represent, and we have to demonstrate that far above board. So let me say thank you, Mr. President, and thank you for taking my time to allow me to speak.
Thank you.
Oh. I do want to.
Yes, the chair still recognizes Alderwoman Mitz.
Thank you. I did forget. You see, my colleagues, I had so much love from everyone, I could not even begin to take the calls. From every sector of the city, from the minister to the federation, to public servant, to the state, from the governor's office, every religious leaders, all across the city, organization, just everyone rallying their support. And I want to say thank you, because it gave me that encouragement that I can move forward. You're not alone. But this should never happen again. Just never happen again. And I want to say thank you all. Thank you, each and every one of you, You've been more than grateful, showing the respect as a leader that one should receive. Remember, I did not know how to go forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. The chair recognizes Alderman Rosa.
Mr. President, I rise to apologize to my colleague, Alderwoman Emma Mitz, to all of my colleagues, to this council, for my actions last week, Thursday. Thursday's special meeting was chaotic, tensions were high. I dramatically overreacted to the intensity of what was happening in that meeting. And there's no excuse for that. I sincerely apologize to you, my colleague, Alderwoman Emma Mitz, for the disrespectful interaction that we had outside of council chambers, and for my overzealous attempts throughout the day to try and convince you not to be part of the quorum. I should have never done that to you. I should have never put you in that position. I also apologize to Alderwoman Nicole Lee, Alderman Felix Cardona, Alderman Chris Taliaferro, Alderman Desmond Yancey, for my disrespectful words and actions. I'm deeply sorry. I apologize to the entire City Council for my actions last week, Thursday. And I apologize to our mayor for letting you down in my leadership roles. I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor.
Please, thank you very much.
I feel awful about everything that happened and the role that I played in everything that occurred last week.
I accept yours.
Our Chicago City Council does important work, and even when we strongly disagree with each other on policy or approach, it is critical that we show each other respect. The people of Chicago deserve nothing less and have every right to demand that of all of us. I cannot take away the mistakes I made last week, but I hope to be able to rebuild the trust that we have in each other as we move forward as a council that addresses the important things impacting the city of Chicago. I commit myself to do the work, to do the actions. I commit myself in front of you, my colleagues today, to work hard every day moving forward to strengthen the relationships that we have. I'm going to make amends. I'm going to work every single day to make sure that we're becoming a stronger council. Thank you.
Thank you. Resolutions. We have no resolutions. Communications.
I, City Clerk Anna Valencia, hereby inform the City Council that the following documents were filed in my office relating to the respective subjects designated as follows. Funding loan notification of City of Chicago multifamily housing revenue note in Series 2023 Grace Manor Apartments project.